Alright, welcome to another part of the new turn-based role-playing game tutorial series. I'm not totally sure what we're going to cover right now. Let's just take a look at where we left off. I think enemies need a hit effect, which I think I could do in an animation player, or we can do it in process. I think we'll do process. That's not what I want. And I type. So process. Or no, we don't need that. We're gonna do a timer. Hit flash. We're gonna get a reference to that here, and here we do if. You can also do that. Then modulate A equals rand F. And we're going to need to connect the timer here. Make sure modulate equals 1.0. Alright, so we're resetting it when that is over. Otherwise, it's a random value between 0 and 1. Here we can do if value change, we're not going to use this, is less than 0, then we're going to start hit flash. And await hit flash dot timeout. All right, we don't want to be hiding until that hit flash is done. We also probably want to check. Damn. I think that's okay for now. Am I missing anything? It's going to be one shot, maybe half a second. And let's see what that looks like. So now when the enemy takes damage, we're not seeing it. Also, we don't need to print that out anymore. What's that need? The player windows. Let's get rid of that crap. Okay, so the enemy is not getting that. Let's take a look here. Value changes previous MP minus HP, so I have that backwards. So update that in Battle Actor. There we go. We do the same thing for the player window. Or we could just shake the screen. So ScreenShake something we can add. Let's go ahead and get a notes, ScreenShake. Man. And sorry, my allergies are super bad today. Instead of hiding immediately, we want to do a tween effect. So var tween, and then self modulate. 0 duration 0.5 dot tween set something like that. Finished, and then we want to do hide. So once that's empty, once the modulate is all the way faded out, we're hiding it so that it's not selectable on the menu. See that in action. One more hit. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that looks pretty good. What else? Probably want to do some, so like short wait time. Something like that. Try that. So we can do something like that. And just do that. Let's try that. That feels better. We need to get damage rolls. Something like that. Plus target defense. So right now that'd be -1. We also want to do a clamp eye. Do something like that. I think. No. So now we can damage roll. So we do that. Actually, we can do this down here. Our hit effect is not running. Oh, we're never calling heal hurt. So we can do the damage roll. Which could probably just be a part of heal hurt. But maybe we want to be able to get the damage first. Down here, we could try doing that. Let's see what it looks like if we put it first. Yeah, I think I like it delayed. So that makes sense, having damage roll come before and be a separate thing. Then we apply the heal hurt, and we print out the text. Let's make our players a little bit stronger. Maybe George will stay a bit weaker. We need to also check that the actor and the target are still valid. For now, that's all we'll check there. So if not actor.can act, then right, so if the actor can't do anything, if not target might do this. We can put that here too. So if the target is defeated, we need to look at all of the other targets on that side. Or maybe we just have them miss. So we can do that. Then no. Yeah, we probably do want to do that check in some capacity. No, we don't want that. Party.shuffle. We need to do that down here. But anyway, let's just focus on this. If we're friendly for V and party, if not, V dot is defeated. We also do then target equals V, and we want to break out of that for loop. What, baby? What do you want, kitty? Actually call this targets. Stop, cat. No, I don't like that. Let's keep it like that. If not, target is friendly. Then down here we do targets.shuffle. Put this in here. We also want to make sure target is null. Then if not target, then we want to return. This means there are no more valid targets. So we need to get the enemies. For this, I'm thinking we're going to throw enemies into a group. And to our event queue for, yeah, we still want to clear it. We can do it like, I think, yeah. Whoops. Targets.clear. We do for I guess we can just add them. So we add all the enemy data. So next time when we hit pink glob, we want to see the second attack go to the other one. So George should hit the other one now. Yeah, so that's telling us that code works. What else? Get a third enemy in there. Oh, I need to turn that off in the battle. We don't want them handling input. How about items? So if I remember right, the last time I did a game like this, my items ended up being used also for magic. It just made more sense with the code. And so behind the scenes, magic will be an item, is what I'm trying to say. But to the player, we will still have them separated. Make a new script, call it item. Make a new, no, let's edit the script first. Item hides a global script class. Okay, so it's telling me I already have this in my utility. So let's go ahead and delete that. And we're going to use what I already have, which is nice. Looks good. I could change this to copy. We can hold that for now. And we also have an inventory. Could not find item. Why not? It's right there. Let's try a reload. It might be because I made that second item script and it's angry. Let's see. Inventory, you are now fine. A quick overview of the inventory. We hold items in an array. We can give it a max size. We have a signal for when it's updated. That's mainly used by the GUI so that it can update what it's drawing. We can get the items, the size, get item by name or position. We can add item by name or item, and we can remove item. I don't think this is a complete inventory, but I did have it working fine before. So now that we have that, and I'll give you these, or maybe you should just copy them down. It's good practice. I'll zoom out so you can get this all on one page. All right, see all that? Here's the inventory. You're going to want to pause here. This goes down to line 26. We go down to line 50, pause, and here's the rest. Okay, so go ahead and copy those, or I might just give them to you, I'm not sure. I think it's good practice to type these things out, and so you can kind of see the patterns better. Okay, so the inventory we need to give to each player. I think that's a more interesting concept, and instead of having, for example, a global inventory. And so that's something we have to add to Battle Actor. And should I make that an export? No, for now we're just going to do this. It's going to be inventory, and it's going to be inventory new. I don't know why we're getting all these red errors. Maybe we don't do that. That might be wasteful. You're going to have export var items array. It's going to be an array of item. So for enemies, we'll drag these things onto there. Which reminds me, we're going to need, of course, XP. Export var gold. And let's see. What else? So when we copy, we want to see if there are any items. We'll put that in init. So for item, I just use B. That's something I picked up from Lua. In items, V. First off, we knew if items, we want to make an inventory. Could also duplicate that inventory. It doesn't matter. Or we can just make it more readable. Many ways to skin a cat. So if items, we make an inventory and we add copies of the items to it, which is how this works. You add item by name, it's always adding a copy of it. That is fine. And then when we go to our players, first we need to make items to give. So it's going to be a folder of items. I'm going to create a new resource. I'm going to type in item, boom, boom, boom. Let's call this healing herb. Open that up. We can see it accepts a texture, quantity, stackable, and so on. Let's need to update data because now it is doing that. And make bar items. Oh, it's a dictionary. My bad. Value, maybe 25. Oh, that looks fine. Now let's open up Tampopo. Let's give them a few healing herbs. Maybe George gets one too. Notice that it'll only accept items because we typed that array. So now we should be loading our inventories. And the next thing is we need to be able to draw them. And so when we press on item, we want that item menu to pop up. So I'm just going to kind of pre-visualize what we might want that to look like. Maybe a scroll container. In the margin container, it's going to be a panel container. All those items or inventory. We probably want it to draw over all of these actually. Enemies, we don't really want them drawing over this stuff. In fact, letterboxes should be on top of everything. So we want to put them there. Just kind of doing some reorganization. I take that back. Letterboxes should be behind the GUI. So yeah, well, we did want the enemies behind the GUI. That makes sense. Inventory is getting set up. We're going to do top. And Oops, that's wrong. I modified the wrong thing. Just want the inventory to be top. And probably center it horizontally. Then I'm going to give it a minimum size. Our width is 320. Let's see what 240 looks like. And maybe 64. And we can modify from there. I might even go a little bit larger. I don't know. I kind of like the original. We can play it by ear. So we have that. This is going to be a grid container. And we're going to give this a menu script. And then class, what do? We drag that container to the buttons container. And I think we'll probably have this programmatically populate. Thinking. Have it programmatically. Well, also, sorry, we need a scroll container. And we put that grid container in the scroll container. And I think we can probably just make the buttons. Let's call this item name. Delete that. Are we going to have a custom button? Just thinking, if we're going to draw quantities, then probably. So let's go ahead and call this item button. And I'm going to save that as a scene. That way we can modify it later. For now, we're just going to make 10 of these. We're going to have 2 columns. Now, actually, with this setup, we don't need a scroll container. We do want this to expand horizontally, which tells me we want this to also where is it over here? Probably expand horizontally. If we look at that now, yeah, everything's centered. I think that makes sense. We might want to go in and modify, and this is why we make it a scene, so that it applies to all of these. So we can left align and then see what that looks like. I think that's how I want it. And then later on, we will add the quantities. So this does not need a scroll container. So let's get rid of that. It's kind of funny that this is perfectly spaced with the dimensions that I gave it. Is that really what happened there? Do I even need a custom Y? I mean, it's just a little bit off. Yeah, so a panel container will always automatically expand for us. So yeah, looks good. But I was pretty dang close. The width we could probably bring down to I don't know what to. I try to do multiples of 8. We do like minus 16, minus 8, minus 8 again. Oh, kind of like that. I like that little bit of spacing there. And maybe that's a little bit, I don't know, maybe it should draw over top. And then we can have longer item names. All right, so the inventory is needs to extend the menu. So it's going to be called inventory menu inventory. That way it shows up next to menu. And function ready. We want to call super, and then we want to hide it. Just make sure it's not showing. Super, I don't think we've talked about yet. That's like saying, hey, I want to call the ready function for whatever I'm extending. We don't call that, it'll only hide, it won't call all of that other stuff. You know, let's just do Can I do that? No, it likes this. We do if otherwise we want to disconnect the old one. That is no, we don't need to do that. We just do if inventory. Or no, we don't need that, do we? Let's get rid of that for now. I think all we really need to do is update the buttons. No. No, we're not getting rid of them. We'll just hide them. Yeah, that's better. For now, we're going to do for for button and get buttons. We want to do well, we just do items that size. It's fine. Let's look at the inventory. Yeah, we can just use that. Why is that not showing up? That's all right. We can have it be with that. And we want to get a reference to it here. Click, hold, control, drag, let go. And I always want it to be at 0. And we need to modify this. Buttons container not set. I think that broke when we modified the script. No problem. I don't focus exit. Yeah, we do want that. Focus on. No, we don't want that. Focus on ready is dummy. No, that's all good. All right. Back out. It's not hiding. Inventory menu. We're never setting the inventory. Let's hide that for now. It's because it's stackable. We can turn that off for now. And then we should see 2. Yep, cool. Okay, that's not good. It's letting us focus on things that are not there. hide. And sorry, we need to make sure we're showing. Cool. No, it's still letting me focus off. Let's go back. Once we have a cursor, that'll make sense. You know what? I think my grid cursor is broken, or my grid container. So we're going to do this. Yep. If we look at menu. Yep. Let's see. Right, so that's just not working. If you use this on grid containers, let's see if we can get that working. Maybe columns is not. It needs to be buttons container. Oh, yeah, it works. Okay. Just using that. Yeah, we can get rid of that. Need to. That's a lot of code there. Okay. Make sure it still works. Yeah. Cool. Let's see, I should have cursor, menu cursor. If I remember right, just drag that bad boy in there. Now we can do that, hide it. Or no, I meant to hide the inventory. Let's turn off that debug. And so the item, let's close some stuff that we don't need right now. When we select an item, we need that picked. Go down to inventory. Button pressed. Up to battle. We don't need the index. One sec. Just lost my monitor. And I'm gonna do if button.item, then current item equals button.item. And we want to proceed. So for now, it would be player windows button focus 0. So item, healing herb, doesn't look like it likes that right now. Let's see, player windows is a menu, right? Does not have a buttons container assigned. I think in our menu, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's fine. Has the right script, but in menu, we need to assert that we have a buttons container. Buttons. Okay, let's see what the problem is. Why you no work? Do we not make them into buttons? That could be the problem. The windows are buttons. I had the foresight for that. Aha! Super. What is my menu making sound effects automatically? It is. So, looks like we want to call the super at the end. That way what we do here does not depend on that. Item, yeah, cool. So now we can select our party. Cool, cool. And we need to emit when we select a player. So I want to put these, go with the enemies. Inventory selection should come between here. We're not using index on either of these, I don't think. Player window, party. Yeah, so you do have data. So this will be EventQueue.add button.data. Sorry, the actions would be the action. You would be the target. This would be party current player index, and whichever button we selected. I actually just throw these in there. We're kind of doing the same thing. And then we go to next player. These are the same exact script. That's okay. We can keep them separate for now. So that just allows us to use items on our teammates. Need to make sure that the items are hidden. Close, true, yeah, sure. So next time that should be fine. It's not closing. We could just do hide. Cool. Now if we go back to, oops, it's letting me back out. That's not right. Current player index. I think. First, let's make sure dir. So value would be dir, and then we have -1, 1. And we want to make sure current player index is party.size -1. Let's see. So if I back out, it seems like it's working right now. Yeah, cool. All right. Coolio. We need to send through the item. So here, make sure we clear that. Also, action, I think, should be current action. I go through before I replace all. I want to make sure that these match what I want. Okay, cool. With current action, current player index, current item. Very good. Button.item. Otherwise, we do nothing. A lot of moving parts. So we need to send through the item. That's where I left off there. I think that'll be here. That might even replace current action. And so like fighting could be technically an item, but we'll cross that bridge later. Item, I need to send that through. We're gonna get, we don't need that anymore. That's fine. Down here, var item. And probably save using items for the next. And so we could do something like and too many arguments, not enough arguments. Oh, this can just be null for now. So we're going to use these items. Interesting, it's not going to the next player. Aha! That code is breaking it. We do want to be able to exceed the size of the party. Looks like there's an extra, yeah, one of those. More readable. We're healing. They're going to attack. I think temporarily. We can do let's look at the event queue. Basically just passing some of those array of functions. So we're not doing any kind of speed rolling, but we are going to randomize the order of the actions temporarily. And we can keep that shuffle function because that might be useful. There could be an ability that randomizes the attack order or the action order. So I might make it now so that we can one-hit them. Let's give them 4 HP. Or I'm sorry, we can one-turn them. One turn defeat them. So ScreenShake. ScreenShake. Basically, you want your background to extend out a bit. You probably want your background image too as well. We do something like that. And yeah, I mean, really, we shouldn't be doing this by hand. But the letter boxes can also come out. Oh, we just want their horizontal. And then these guys, we want them to expand. Yeah, out. Whoops, we want top. Yeah, top and bottom. And just make sure the positions are right. You want them 0. Yeah, this looks right. I think. Sure. Why not? Yeah. The image, probably want that just to extend a bit out. All right, so now we have our buffer zone for the ScreenShake. And I think I have this, yep. So we can just drag this into battle. And I think all we do is call add trauma. So every time we're hit, we want to be communicating with this. We can use it since it's a global. And so the battle actor, we can check if they're friendly, and we can apply the ScreenShake. Do I want to do this in the event queue? Probably. We could also do it right in heal hurt. Which would look like if target. You know what? Here's what we do. Let me just pull this out. And where was it? If target is friendly, then we wanted to apply, globals.screenshake.apply trauma. And party is not defined. That's fine. Go back down to our ScreenShake, and I think it has a default value. Oh, add trauma. Okay. I don't really know. Maybe 3. Let's give it a default value. See if we can get that showing up. Okay, the camera needs to be modified. We want it to be fixed in the top left. And yeah, let's just use items for now. All right, main is not a thing. If get owner, get. That just seems like half-assed code if I say so myself. But hey, I wrote it. It's probably a quick fix. Yeah, we can see we're getting that shake. We maybe want a little bit more. We might have to modify some of these variables. The decay, I think we need to slow down. Max offset 8. 16. It's weird. It seems like it's not shaking on the the X. Let's see. Let's try getting that in there. Something's not right. Trauma power, maybe we need to modify. That looks better. Probably try the default on the DK now. Okay. I think that's a good starting point for the ScreenShake. Leave some of that crap in there for now. Yeah, you're welcome to go and copy this directly from the source. The link is right there. Or I'll pause this and you can pause it and just copy this now. We go down to line 27, and here's the second half. All right. Let's get my code back to size. All right, nice. We added ScreenShake. We can take that off the notes. We definitely need sound effects like hit, Pt3. But it's a lot of progress, I think. For Shizzy. Maybe when we are acting in the event queue, we can activate that entity on the player's windows. But yeah, I'll end there. As always, let me know if you have any feedback, questions, bugs, whatever, in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Good luck with your game.